And I don't know, back in the days, and now I just find out that because my nephew, he went to secondary school, so they have a band 1, band 2 kind of thing. They were still there back in the days?
Yeah, so you have like band 1, band 2, band 3 schools. So band 1s would be the best schools.
So but again, what do you think about this education system? I mean, we're not the one to question them. But so how can you decide by their primary level that this person can go to best school and this person is not good, is not going to best school, and the person who's band 3, they don't even exist kind of thing, right? They're like just going to school for...
Well, I think that's the thing. A lot of people might not choose their schools based on band 1, band 2, band 3.
No, nowadays the kids are obsessed about, those kids who actually, like, let's say someone is obsessed about, I want to be the best. I want to study. Some people know when they're small, so they will go to the school and they're like, oh, I didn't get the admission in band 1.
Right.
And they get sad. And they know if they're not gonna band 1, band 2, they're like, mediocre, I'm doing a band 3. There are, man, nowadays students are very smart because how I know, my nephew, my niece, my daughter herself, they know.
Right.
They know the category. And they knew already, okay, I'm not gonna get a band in band 2, so...
I guess that might be more of a thing now because they're very knowledgeable about this.
Yeah.
Like back when we were in school, like I didn't know about band 1 and band 2. Like wherever our parents sent us, we just go there to study. Back in the day. But yeah, I guess how you don't really determine, it's not about determining who gets to study in band 1, band 2, right? It's how well you do in your results, how well you do in the interviews.
No, but that's the thing. How well, that means they will start counting your primary when you just started like knowing some of the people, some of the kids probably just getting to know, they're probably like hanging out with the people, the friends, they're different friends, and now we start to push them a pressure on like, okay, you gotta fucking do the best, otherwise you're not gonna get into band 1, band 2. I mean, I just want to know, is my personal thought, and I think I want to. So, is this a good thing, or is there's a thing like or this is also in other countries? Like, how in other countries, how does it work? From primary to go to secondary, you have those kind of band 1 and band 2 stuff.
Okay, talking about globally first, I think this is a system that exists everywhere.
Okay.
Like, in places like Southeast Asia and India, maybe even in Nepal, you have places like, the differentiation is of international schools and then public schools. Yeah. International schools are whatever everyone wants to go to, or English medium schools. In
Nepal, is English medium and a boarding school. That means like that you have as much you pay more. That means a good school.
It's more elite in a way. Yeah. But then government schools, public schools, not that good. Even in places like states, you have Ivy League colleges. The more elite, more elite, the stronger students go, or the richer students go. So I think this kind of system, where you differentiate people into categories, exists everywhere. Do I agree with it? No. I think at that age, it's a lot of pressure to be putting on kids, and sometimes it's the parents who are putting the pressure on the kids, because I think in some ways parents can get very competitive as well.
No, but that is a secondary to primary, right? Secondary. No, sorry. Primary to secondary, and there's a competition for kindergarten as well.
Even to get into kindergartens.
Kindergarten, these kids just know how to speak. I just know how to speak and how to talk to a human being, and now we deciding them. Oh, you have to go to this best kindergarten international school, and you pay that much of money, and this kindergarten. I was like, so I think my personal opinion is like people always say it's not money, but this is here. From the kindergarten, your life start from the money.
Right.
Like if you're studying in the best kindergarten, there is a chance that you're gonna go to best primary school.
Yeah.
And if you go to best primary school, there's already you open up the door to go to best secondary school, and with that money, you're buying for you a ticket to best university as well.
I mean, that's one that's definitely one way to put.
And poor people like us, our kids will go to fucking like any school.
No, because I'm not sure you know there are these groups where the kindergarten, the primary school, and the secondary school they will belong to the same group. So if you get into that particular kindergarten, you can go to their primary school as well. If you get into that primary school, you can go to their secondary school as well. I know that is a thing, but I don't necessarily equate that to better opportunities, because even if you go to the best kindergartens and primary schools or secondary schools, if you are not putting in the effort, you're not focused on your studies.
But I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. If without your self-interest or self-motivation, there's less. But there's opportunity to get more. You know what I mean?
I think it does put them in a very advantageous
position, right? Let's say someone doing very normal study, very normal, you know, like thing in school, very normal in sports, but he get more choices because of he have been studying in the elite. I don't know that you mentioned Ivy or whatever.
This is where I tend to have this conversation with my best friends a lot. And she always tells me this.
Also from the education, she's also working.
So my friend is a secondary school teacher. And what she always says is, yes, we agree that, you know, you have to put in that hard work. It really depends on the kids. You know, how driven you are, how passionate you are, how hardworking you are. But yes, the reason why students in these more elite, so-called elite schools have an advantage, I think it's because it affords them more cultural capital. You know, it provides them with more cultural capital.
What is a cultural capital?
I think it's kind of similar to what you were talking about in terms of opportunities, right? If I'm going to, you know, like a band 3 local, you know, underfunded, understaffed school, there's so many things I can experience and do and see. Most of the people I would meet are probably from the same community. You know, I'm doing very basic classes. But if I compare it to like maybe a band 1 international school or a very well-funded school, they might have more opportunities. Like I see some of these band 1 schools, they bring their students to different countries during summer breaks, like on camping trips. Like they're going to Denmark, they're going to UK. So as a kid, that really opens up your horizon.
Of course.
Like some of these students in the so-called band 3 schools, they might not even have left their district.
Yeah.
If I'm living in Tuen Mun, I just know Tuen Mun. I rarely go to other districts. But these kids can, you know, have that opportunity to go to UK, go to Europe, go to different countries in Asia. The sports they can do, there's a lot more options. They can do golf, they can do tennis, they can do basketball, they can do football. You know, the type of lessons that they have, the types of teachers that they can have, the type of people they will network with and interact with. All that really opens up your mind to the possibilities, because this is, I think, something we've been talking about, right?
Yeah.
Where a lot of the immigrant families, they don't know about these opportunities because there's no example, right? It's the same with the kids. You know, if they go to these so-called better schools, you know, they are allowed access to more opportunities, and it really opens up their mind to all these different things. So it's definitely an advantage, you know. It allows you to, you know, give yourself more options. I'm not just limited to, okay, I need to finish my studies, try to get into university. If I don't, start working. If I do, finish my degree and then start working. You know, the more I experience, the more different kinds of people I meet, the more different places I go to. I see these different cultures, these different lifestyles, these different possibilities. You know, I am allowing myself access to all these different things. I won't be just limited to that. I actually have a choice, you know. So I think that is what maybe the so-called better schools or Band 1 schools can afford the students.
But Band 2, Band 3, is that, what is the Band, how is it, Band 1 to Band 5? No.
I'm actually not that familiar. I know there's Band 1, Band 2, Band 3. I'm not sure how low it goes.
I know 1, 2, and 3 because because my nephew, but he's in band 2. And he was very, very sad that he didn't get in band 1, and teacher have to convince him and tell him like, look, there's not much difference between 1 and 2.
Right.
But he was like, no, because this guy was so determined. He is the one picking the school by himself.
Oh, wow.
By himself, and going to interview by himself and teaching me how do I behave in front of teacher.
Right.
Because my sister and my my brother-in-law, they're busy. You know, we have to work. We have to, and I managed to have some time. And I was like, he teach me, okay, you have to put everything nicely, or that they will judge you from that. I was like, what the man? Are you fucking? So I was like, well, we have to dress cool. We have to present well. And we go for a plan. And we went to like a couple of schools. They do a check, how do you put there, and I have no idea. Actually, I have no idea. I just go to school, they say, for admission, I say yes, and he's doing all the talking.
Right.
He's doing all the talking, 11, 12 years old, he's doing all the talking. I was like, yeah, we're doing here. And I was like, he teaches me, okay, we have to do this, we have to do that, okay, this school, we have to wait over there. I was like, man, you know everything, why do we need to go? But then he told me like, they need a parents, and you just pretend to be parent. I was like, okay.